Healthy Round Rock Weight Loss, and here with Dr. Benner.
Hey guys.
And last video we talked a lot about sugar and Splenda and sucralose and the things that are the sugars that are in the IP products. And so we were talking a little bit further about when you move on to the phase 2, 3, and phase 4 and beyond, what sugars are acceptable. I mean, we hear so much information there about all the different types of sugars. You've got aspartame, you've got xylitol, you've got Splenda, you've got brown sugar. So we're here with Dr. Benner, and he's going to educate us because I think, knowledge is always power, right? Applied knowledge is power. So we want to hear from Dr. Benner himself to give us some guidelines and some direction on where to go after Ideal Protein.
Awesome. So first of all, I'll state that I consider phase 4 forever. Okay, and so I will tell you this, is that when you get on phase 4, I'd recommend, and especially the way we have it set up, is to stay on the phase 4 and the guidance of your coach. Having that health coach, that accountability partner, is part of the beauty and the long-term effectiveness of Ideal Protein, because it's not about phase 1. As we say, it's phase 4 forever. We got 4 phases, and the 4th phase is where we want to get you and keep you, because that's where you're eating the healthy foods and so on and so forth. So as far as I'm concerned, our most successful dieters don't leave Ideal Protein. What they do is they stay under our wing for guidance and community and make sure that they have proper direction. So just to qualify, we're talking about the sugars. There's artificial sweeteners and then there's sugar. So when we're talking about aspartame, when we're talking about sucralose, Splenda, even though sucralose and Splenda, which are essentially the same, come from sugar, they are modified. Okay, and so that, as far as I consider, is an artificial sweetener. And I believe that we addressed the concerns of Splenda or sucralose in the last video, that as long as it's in small amounts, that I wouldn't worry about it too much by any means. So we go into phase 1. We're successful, as our clients are. If they listen to Judy and they work the program, they're successful and they're very, very happy, and it's time to go on to the real food. So where do we go from there? Should we go and buy a big bag of Splenda, as they have it in all these grocery markets, huge bags of Splenda, and use it as a substitute and so on and so forth? You use it in small amounts here and there. But in reality, we really want to hold to the methodology, now that we're on real food, to minimize that. And so what I would do, instead of utilizing Splenda at that time, I prefer xylitol in that situation for baking and certain sweeteners. And the reason why is xylitol not only has 1/3 of the calories of sugar, but it really doesn't, even though it has only 1/3 of the calories of sugar, in most cases it doesn't have an insulinogenic effect. And it also has some other benefits like decreased tooth decay, because it decreases the acid in our mouth. It also has the effect of having inulin, which is a prebiotic, which is a positive and a negative depending on the situation. So if you utilize xylitol, what you have to do is make sure that if you have a bunch of gas after that, which does happen, that's the inulin. That's the inulin that's feeding some of the bad bacteria. And so there's a condition called SIBO, small intestinal bowel overgrowth, where the bacteria have gotten in your gut because of improper lifestyle in those guts, it's in your small intestine. It shouldn't be there to that large extent. It should be in your large intestine. The good bacteria should be in your large intestine. And so if you take xylitol and get kind of gassy, it's almost a diagnosis to a certain extent. Talk to your doctor about this, but it is a good indication that you may have SIBO, and you'd have to talk to your coach and your doctor that's running the program. But most people don't have that issue. Now, the whole goal is to change your palate. So I'm not a big fan of going back and sweetening everything up, because one of the benefits of IP is that when you get off phase 1, your palate has changed. Right. Why go back and reprogram it to like sweets again? And so what I would do is find the minimal sweetness that you like in your food and continue to decrease or improve your palate to like less sweet and sweet over time. The worst thing you can do is send signals to your brain, wake up those habits,
giants.
those sleeping giants, and start all over again. We'd rather have you on phase 4 forever than to have to always cycle on phase 1, unless it's on our design fast, as we talk about with our clients. And so xylitol is a real good one to utilize in minimal to moderation, and then go from there. Xylitol is not natural either. You know, xylitol is artificially made. So, but really, we haven't seen any evidence of any really bad health issues with xylitol. So let's leave it with that on this segment. Okay, for xylitol, it's a good way of helping us sweeten our foods a little bit moderately without having that insulin response. Remember, insulin spikes is where we don't want to go and start stressing that pancreas again.
Right.
Okay, so it's a good strategy to utilize. And the key thing is staying in touch with your coach, because a good coach is going to know this and going to be able to guide you, and then go from there. So if you have any questions, make sure you go to our Facebook page, and whether you're in Arkansas, Philippines, or Hong Kong, it doesn't matter. We want to help you out, even though may not be our clients. We are on a mission to help as many people as possible. I know that I am, and I know that Judy shares that mission. So until next time, we'll talk to you soon.